Three, two, one. Hey, my peeps, this is your girl JaeRae, and I am doing here on TikTok Live. I am looking forward to talking all about eclipses. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have never joined me on Instagram Live, I suggest you go ahead and go over there and like me over there as well, especially to my YouTube and here on TikTok. So, we're going to be talking a lot about spirituality. And if you don't know who I am, Google me. But basically, I've been around the block a little bit. I've been doing radio a really long time, and I've been talking about spirituality for a very long time. And March seems to be something to talk about for sure. And not only something to talk about, but something to really convey to everyone about why March, or just significantly the year of 2025, is so important. And I've been talking about this, like I said, for 10 plus years. I've been working on radio, I've been working with astrologists and mentors and so many people that I can't even count. But the reality comes down to this. What are you doing to make your reality better? And how is it that we can make your reality better? How is it that you can become better, vibrate higher to attract the things that you want? And people have been talking about this forever, the law of attraction. There's so many universal laws to begin with, but let's stay focused on what we can do with the now, right? The now energy, because that seems to be what we need to discuss. The past is already the past, can't go back to that. And the future truly hasn't been determined yet, but the present, that's a present, and we really can work with that. So, how do we work with that? And what do we do to work with that? And yes, you can ask questions in a few minutes, but right now we're going to stay focused on the task at hand. I am a natural teacher, I'm a natural spiritual teacher, so it's going to be a little bit feeling like you're in a classroom. That's fine with me. So hold back your questions, write them down on a piece of paper. When it's time for me to call you up and you want to come up on here with me, I'll be more than happy to take your questions. But right now, we are going to go live with somebody that I found intriguing, wonderful. There was a connection that I felt with her right away. She's an amazing astrologer. She has really, she's not only done my chart, but the fact that we're on the same wavelength in regards to how spirituality works and exactly how to utilize astrology is where her and I have connected, because it truly is a tool. And if you understand it as a tool, you will utilize it as a tool. And right now, we're in an energy right now where if somebody gave you a golden ticket and said, how would you like to use it? This would be the energy to go ahead and say, I would like to use the golden ticket for this or for that. So I am going to bring up, her name is Eliana, by the way. And she has been live on TikTok for quite some time, and I just absolutely adore her. So if she's going to request herself in a second or so, I'll be able to see her request. I'm going to bring her up here because we're going to talk all about the eclipses. But there's a few things that are going to start not only today, but tomorrow and the entire month of March. So let me bring up the amazing Eliana Kali. So there she is. She's accepted. So she should be joining me any second. So when she pops in, we can say hello to her. Hello. Hi, sweetie. How are you? I'm fabulous. I'm looking forward to talking a lot about this month specifically and also what to expect with today, because today is also a very big astrological event. And as much as people know, I love the number 28. I was talking about the number 28 theory for I can't even tell you how long. I have been telling people for a number of years right now to actually write on their money pound 28 with their initial forever, to yeah, to amplify the energy of the money, right? Because every single time they spend money, the goal is to say, when you hold up the money to yourself, is to say, with this money, may piece of this money that connects to another money come back to me tenfold. So it's every time you spend money, you get tenfold. And that's why I'm trying to teach people to get out of fear about spending money. So many people are afraid to spend. They go into panic, they go into scarcity, they go into lack. And that is one of the biggest things that I think is uh I would say, a blockage for a lot of people when they come to me and they want to manifest. They are in scarcity and they're already in lack, meaning I have no money, so I have to manifest for more money, but not realizing that the little bit that they have, or whatever they consider to be a little bit, actually is abundant already. And they don't understand that the abundance comes from not only the ability to create more, the fact that you have two arms, two legs, a mind, a thought, an idea, a creativity is enough to amplify anything and create more. And I think the biggest fear is that, well, if I spend my last dollar, I won't have any money. And the really the truth is, please spend your last dollar so that the universe knows you need more money. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like your plate of food is empty. You need to eat more. More is coming. So it's kind of this idea, right? This mindset. You have to be rich in order to manifest. It's the complete opposite. But yes, it's the vibration of what you are is what you attract. So, can you talk a little bit about these seven planets that are aligned today? And actually, in Chinese astrology and in feng shui, I do a lot of Chinese stuff. Just so a lot of people understand that I follow a lot of Taoism and so many of the Chinese zodiac. I'm really big into that. But just to offset a little bit, there is apparently a very big astrological event happening today, right? Where seven constellations are actually aligned that open up the power to basically ask for what you want. On top of the fact that it's on the 28th, let's take a double amplifier, right? And let's take something and really amplify it to the next level, right? So this is exciting. So talk to me a little bit about what that is and what the name of it is, if there's a name for it. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. Mm. Ah. Okay, so stop right there if you don't mind. So people don't understand that everyone thinks the calendar starts in January. So I think we just need to give a little bit of a teaching that the calendar, the Gregorian calendar, is the January to December calendar, but the actual real calendar actually starts in April. And people have this misconception, and it's probably one of the most frustrating thing when I'm teaching is the fact that they do the whole New Year's resolution on January 1st, but your New Year's resolution or your new beginnings does not start till really the equinox. And yeah, the spring equinox is really actually the beginning of the year. So yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. 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 Hmm. Yes. Initiating. Yes. 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 And Neptune being the planet of illusion, right? We've been in Neptune and Pisces for quite some time. And if we were to just utilize that in a collective consciousness, right? Just in a collective way. Neptune and Pisces been there since what, 2011? It's been a while. 14 years or so. Yeah. hmm I think it was 2011, right? So Pisces being the planet of, obviously it's the last planet. It's basically the, like you just explained, the last thing, the last basically part of darkness, right? Before we go into the light, right? With Aries being the first house and Pisces being the 12th house. So it's kind of like we went through this entire cycle and now we're about to be reborn, as you were saying. But I think people don't really understand the level of what we've been through since 2011, the planetary of intuition illusion. And that's where the uprising of many people started to look at spirituality more in the face of, maybe there's something to this. Maybe this astrological thing really is real. That it's never not been real, by the way. Millions, millionaires and billionaires have been using this since the beginning of time. But also, maybe there's something to this. Maybe there's a little something to these people that have these healing abilities. Maybe there's a little more to it. And I think in the last, since 2011, because that Neptune and Pisces, people have been more apt to having those conversations where before it was kind of passe and just like, absolutely not. That's crazy. I can't talk to somebody like her. That's bananas. Where are we going now that we're going with that Neptune and Aries? What do we? Yeah. Mm, mhm. Yes. Mhm. Yeah. Yes. 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 Mhm. Or not to get disillusioned, or maybe go too far. There has to be a happy medium, by the way, people, just so we understand this. Yeah, there has to be a level of consciousness that we understand that there is spirituality, but there is a methodical, very scientific way of doing things as well. You're not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater during this time period, but there is this you have to be very conscious of what you're utilizing when it comes to this energy. It's not just, my psychic told me to break up with my boyfriend, blow up the house, and walk away, and not think you're going to get consequences from that. You mean you have to have. Yeah. I would I would not, yeah, I would think about that first and say, okay, does this work? I would think twice before just, blazing down the world, for Christ's sake. I could tell you that. I'm a Scorpio, so I'm naturally somebody who loves to just, I'm the phoenix, so I just love to just burn down the house and start over again. I have no problem with that. But there are a lot of people that they're afraid, and with this energy and these eclipses, I think there's been a lot of fear mongering, right? About this, oh my God, March is going to be horrible. Watch out, this and that. Can you give me the goodness of what this month, because I'd love to talk about the goodness of what this month could be for a lot of people. Ah, okay. Yes. Now, can you give us a little bit of the dates? Because everyone needs a little bit of, they need a kind of a little bit of a box or somewhere, a framework. Give me the time frame of when these eclipses began, ending, and where they're going now. Give us a little bit of a framework of that time period. Okay. Okay. Yes. September. Yes. Mm. Yes. Yes. Hmm. Yes. And so let me stop you there if you don't mind. Co-create. So this is another word that people hear, and I don't think they really understand it. Co-create means you have a driver and you have a passenger, right? The universe actually, believe it or not, is the driver because that's the astrological energy utilizing. So they're the car, basically. They're the vehicle. And you are, quote unquote, the person that's going to say, I want to go to store A, B, C, and D. You have to co-create with the universe to tell them where you want to go. You just can't sit in the car and expect it to take you wherever you want to go if you do not enter into the navigation system. You have to enter into the navigation system for the universe to go ahead and work with you. That's the co-creation that I think people get lost in that translation and they go, what does that even mean? That's co-creating. Literally aligning with what the universe has, the vehicle, which is these eclipses, that's a vehicle, and then you inputting into your app navigation system, I want to go here. This is where I want to go. And the universe will conspire with you to get you to that destination. Is that a great? Yeah. Yes. Mhm. Yes. Mhm. Yes. 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 Right. Exactly. Hmm. This is the season. Now, stop. I just want to stop right there. If you're acting on victim energy where you're just expecting to get it because you've been through so much in your life, therefore you deserve all this good, I just want to let you know you're going to be highly disappointed. Okay? But if you're somebody who's been actively working on themselves, who understands that you must water your own garden for the flowers to grow, meaning you're letting go, you're forgiving, you're moving on, you're challenging your triggers, you're making sure that you are conscious of the thoughts you're having these good conversations with yourself, you're working on yourself. Then you're watering your flowers to bloom. That means this eclipse is going to give you and push you towards your highest self. But if you're walking around feeling owed, if you're walking around feeling like a victim, if you're walking around saying, "Well, this is eclipse energy or whatever, and these are my flowers, and let somebody else water them," you're going to be highly disappointed. Just well, FYI, people, you're you're highly disappointed. It's like you had a Rolls Royce in your driveway and you didn't use it, and now all of a sudden it's getting picked up, and you have no way of getting it back. people, you have to work on yourself through this process. It's not something that just gets given to you. It's yes. Yes. Mm, yes. My husband is a Leo rising. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yes. Hmm. Yes. Uh, Hi, Reba. How are you? Yes. Yes. It's an exclamation point next to what is. So let's bring it down to very easy terms for people to understand. So just like for instance when you were talking about the Leo rising, right? So financial, other people's money, that becomes very broad and sometimes overwhelming for other people to kind of understand. But when she says that, or when anytime that's being brought into play, it could just be as simple as I'm going to put $10 a week in my draw, or I'm going to take this $50 that I get for babysitting, and instead of putting it towards this, I'm going to utilize it towards this. Or I'm going to utilize the space that I'm currently in that's being given to me, and I'm going to make the best of it. It doesn't always have to be so, oh, I've got to call a financial advisor, or I have to start investing in stocks, or I have to start doing things. Sometimes it's always within your existing resources that you could be changing things up and utilizing it to the best of your ability. Always, yeah, yes, addressing your mindset. Mm-hmm. Yes. 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 Educate yourself. Yes. And recognize a pattern, even a pattern in your life. You recognize a pattern that maybe when it comes to February and March, you're always sometimes out of money. Why? What is it that you're doing between September and December that puts you in a position where you don't have enough for February and March? So there's all of these things you want to learn. I don't know, Eliana, are you able to come live on the camera, or did you? Okay. 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 I wasn't sure. That's why I was like, because I see a little box in the corner. I'm like, great and everything, but I really wanted everyone to see you so they can see you and recognize you so they can go ahead and follow you on TikTok and see a little bit. Oh, there she is. Yeah, she's in the far right corner. Okay. Because in Instagram it kind of does the picture on top and the picture on the bottom. So with TikTok it seems a little different. So it's just all new to me, darling. All new to me. There I see you. Yeah. That works for me. That's fine. It's fine. So let's just get right into it. Let's get to the thick of it. Let's really start to call out a few people call out a few rising signs, and let's talk about the rising signs of that this is going to impact. I would say the most with the eclipse, or at least let's start with the Venus going in retrograde in Aries starting tomorrow. Let's start with that. Yes. Okay. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay. Are ruled by Tina. Yep, they're ruled by Venus. Hmm. Yes. Never does. Yes. Mm. Or it doesn't look that way. Sometimes it doesn't look that way, but actually, the universe is actually helping you get to achieve the goal that you're trying. And we say the universe, I like to say God is helping you through the process to get you to where you want to go. But again, it's another free will, like you just said. There's God's will, and then there's free will, and they work perfectly hand in hand. People, if you really don't understand that, that's definitely going to be when we do our Zoom. I think that's a great topic we could talk a little bit about on March 10th, because I think people need to understand the difference between God's will, free will, but also how well they work together, right? So I'm sorry. Continue though, Eliana. Continue. Mm. Mm. 40 days. Yeah. Mm. Yes. Why they're an X, exactly. Yes. I was just going to say that. Learn the lesson. Yeah. Don't go through another round, people. Please don't do it to yourselves. It's ugh. I can't tell you how many of my clients go, buddy called, but he gave you a crumb. It's a crumb. He sent a text. It's a crumb. He's just doing, are you still there? You're still an asshole for me. That's really what they're asking. They're not asking anything else. I swear to you, babe, it ain't love. I promise you. It's whoever they were messing with that didn't work out. They're checking on you to see if you're still stupid enough to take them back for the next 40 days. Oh, God, please. Love yourself. Exactly. And that would be unloving yourself, by the way, if you took the asshole back. I'm just telling you. Internally, yeah. 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 Somebody feels very targeted right now. I'm so sorry. But yes, if it feels good, if it feels it's meant for you, then it is. Just so you know. Run. Exactly. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. 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 Decorate your bedroom. Clean a house. Decorate. Do something pretty. Go buy yourself a new shirt. Go go buy yourself new lipstick. It doesn't mean you have to fall in love with another jerk, and it doesn't mean that you have to let another jerk in your life and you're not learning the lesson. It can mean something completely different. Go clean your car, make something beautiful. Paint a room. Light a candle. Paint your room. Do something else. New PJs, that sounds good. A new listen, I always love a new set of PJs. Beautiful. Make yourself feel beautiful. If you're going to do anything during this time, but during Venus retrograde, let me ask you this question because I found this out a long time ago when I was working with astrologer, I don't know, Janet Scales for a long, long time. Never get plastic surgery during a Venus retrograde. Oh, they're conjunct. Yeah. This is not the time to go to Miami and get a BBL, people. Okay. If you have anything scheduled in the next 40 days, I suggest you unschedule it, reschedule. Do not. I can tell you, Eliana, I know exactly when a client something goes awry, and I literally will look it up and I'm like, it happened during an eclipse. They're like, what is that? I don't even know what you're talking about. It either happened during an eclipse or it happened during a retrograde. And 99% of the time, I hit up the astrologer friend and I'm like, I'm giving it a date. Tell me what was going on that day. They're like, oh, yeah, that was in a close. Whoa, who told her to do that? I was like, it was not I. I'm not the astrologer. I know about astrology, but I did not give her that advice. I told her not to do it, but she didn't listen. But now I understand why I was so hard about not doing it. Yeah. Now it makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been working with celebrities for a very long time, so yes. There are times when I'm like, you will not be getting divorced during that time period, ma'am. You are not getting separated during that time, ma'am. You are not moving out of that house. You are not doing this. You are not doing that. They're absolutely not. I don't care. Okay? Bite your tongue. Put your head down. Go work out. Go on vacation. I don't care, but you're not doing it. Okay? It's not happening right now. Wait till dot 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 dot. Whenever that, that looks good for you. But right now it's not the time. Yeah. Hmm. Mm, yes. So let's talk. Oh, I was going to say, let's talk about the conflict because mm, mm-mm, mm, mhm. Yes. 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 Yeah. I would not get a hair I would not get a new hairstyle. I'd get a haircut, but I would not get a new hairstyle during Venus in retrograde. I would not decide to dye my hair purple. That would not be a good time to do that. But yes. Yes. Mhm. April 12th. Yeah. Mm, yeah. So basically, she's gearing up to deal with whatever's needed to be dealt with, but she's got the ammunition, she's got the tools, she's got the power. She's lock and loaded. She's ready to go for sure. Also during this time period, there's a good old fashioned saying that if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. Because any words that you're using during this time period, anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of universal law, meaning it will come back and bite you in the ass. So yeah, I was just going to say we got Mercury hitting retrograde starting also on the 15th, ending on the 7th of April. Also not a time that you want to fuck around and find out as far as what you want to publicate. Do you not to want to write things in writing? You do not want to go on social media and start thunder thumbs. This is not the time that you want to go out there and quote unquote speak your mind and say things that unfortunately either A, you didn't do enough knowledge, you didn't do enough research, and you kind of just blurted something out that now you can't take back. So I would tell everybody right now, if there's anybody in your family, if there's anybody around you that doesn't know how to, not use the phone properly, take the phone away, disconnect, change the password. They are not allowed on social media. Period. End of story. Not a lot on social media. And there's a few people in the world I would probably want to do that with, but unfortunately I can't. Yeah. Yes. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. The eyes of March. Literally. Yeah. Ugh. Tell people what Pluto is. You got to tell people about Pluto because if people don't understand Pluto, hmm it's an Instapot, people. Pluto is an Instapot. If you want something to cook and be done and fast and furious, you're going to put it in an Instapot. Pluto is the Instapot. It really is. It basically, and it changes everything, molecularly structures and changes everything. So, and I mean everything. It's, it's, it's what it's supposed to do. Um, yeah, it's the dark side of the moon, as they say. It's anything that's being done in the dark comes up through Pluto and gets transformed, pretty much. Hmm. Triggers. Get created. Hmm. Yes, shoved down. No, no. Hmm. Mm. Exactly. Well, that, and I was just going to say it's alchemy at its finest, right? So it's what we like to consider. It's all the shit that's get created into gold, right? It's what the alchemist does. It's in the tarot deck when we have the alchemist card. It's basically the magician is the alchemist, right? So it's basically somebody who can work with all elements to create something beautiful, right? So it's about that Pluto. It's that energy of transformation that so many people don't understand, that we are in a constant state of transformation every single time we learn something new about ourselves or we conquer something about ourselves that maybe was our detriment. We have Plutoed ourselves, we have transformed it, and we have made it better. And that is, I think, what's so good about learning and growing, and why I think Pluto in Aquarius is such a significant time period that we're in right now. And Pluto being in Aquarius has really shifted so much of us as a collective, as a consciousness, that we are now open to receive messages and things before when we were not. I want to talk a little bit before we do all the rising signs, and what they're going to mean for the rising signs. Talk a little bit about the Zoom that we're going to be doing on March 10th. So let's talk about that workshop and that course, because we kind of put it together pretty quickly because of the nature of the wants and the needs of what people have been asking for. But what we're going to be discussing is what eclipses are, what it actually is going to be doing, but it's also a teaching moment for people to learn about themselves, right, through their astrology and through their natal charts, which you do for them, Eliana, and me as the psychic or quote unquote healer. Hate using the word psychic. People know that about me, but me as somebody who just knows, I'm able to see past what they need to be, or see into what they need to be learning for themselves in this specific time frame of their lives. Age has a lot to do with it. Growth, maturity has a lot to do with it. People don't realize that. You can tell me all day you're 35, but if you're acting 15, I'm going to know that. So there's all these different things. So let's talk a little bit about the Zoom, your end of it, my end of it, and what the end result's going to be, and the fact that they can sign up by emailing Rachel@JaeRaeLive.com, which everybody knows, to join the class, and what would they're going to be, what to expect from it on your end, and then what to expect it on my end. Hmm. Yes. We're in the soup of it. Yep. Hmm. No. Yes. 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 Hmm. Yes. Era of our, and I think what is actually ending an era of our beingness. And I think that's another thing, people think it's an era of the collective. No, this is specifically towards you. It's an ending of an era of your beingness. So, for instance, the end of the era of my beingness has been three very specific things that I can talk about because I'm very open about a lot of things. Me being a mother, been a mother my whole life, and all of a sudden now I am pretty much still always be a mother, but the mother ring, the need to be a mother every day has shifted and changed dramatically, right? My children, my adult children are adult children. They're living on their own. They're doing their own thing. Major era of my life has now changed. Another era of my life that has shifted, going from being a single mom or a single woman to being a married woman, and utilizing that as, I have a partner, I have another person, there's someone else to think about. And then the other era is no longer trying to convince people what I do for a living. I am what I do for a living, and I don't need to do that anymore. So the era of those three things for me, just think about this: my love, my career, and my status has all that era has all shifted into a new era. So it's all ended with a new beginning and a new vibration, right? A new sense of what that looks like. And that can feel like a death. And that is why I needed a good year off to embrace all the things, right? That I had to undo, not undo, but let go, right? To bring in the new. A lot of people want to bring in new things, but don't want to let go of the old. It's the old-fashioned saying. You want a new car, but you still have the car in the driveway that's still on four stilts, doesn't drive, it doesn't work. The tires are all flat, but you keep asking for a new car. Can you get rid of the old, and then we can bring in a new car? Like, I don't know what the problem is. So yeah, yeah, literally, right. Yeah. Of the new, right. And you won't have those beautiful new buds that's supposed to be coming in, which is what you want, right? In your life. You want those new people. You want a new energy. You want to know. And I always tell people you're your own barometer, because what you're attracting is what you are. So if you're still attracting liars, manipulators, assholes, all of that, you're still manipulating yourself, lying to yourself, and mind fucking yourself. But if you're in a high vibration and you are really honest with yourself, you're loving towards yourself, you're really committed, and you're really doing good things for yourself, you will attract people that will be like yourself. Therefore, you'll find your career, your life, everything will start to get better because you're really doing good things for yourself.
Right, right. So yeah, so we're going to talk a lot about both the eclipse
Mhm.
axes because we're leaving a series on the Libra Aries axis
Mhm.
and we're moving into the series on the Virgo Pisces axis. That's important.
Mhm.
And it's also very symbolic of just the season that we're in because we are all shifting. There is an
Mhm.
era change. I've been preaching this since like last year. Everything is changing.
Everything.
Every structure, every paradigm, everything, the finances, the social structures,
Yes.
religious structures, those are all going to evolve over the next several, like, and by several months, I mean a couple of years.
Eliana, 10 years ago, I was saying this. People thought I was crazy. I
Mm,
said, there's not going to be what we think there is. Everything's going to shift. Government, this, that. They're like, you're crazy. What are you, bananas? Call me whatever you want. But here we are, right? So
right.
I'm going to say what I'm going to be doing on this particular Zoom, and then we want to take some questions because believe it or not, we're already only got about 15 minutes left, and it's gone so fast. So what I'm going to be doing on the Zoom is I'm going to be reading you to filth, people. So if you're getting on the Zoom, be ready for your public shit to be out there. If you do not want your personal shit, do not put on yourself on a Zoom, in a collective Zoom. I am not going to put you off onto a separate Zoom room to read you to filth. I'm going to read you. You're going to ask questions. I'm going to give you the answers. You don't like the answers? Too bad. It is what it is, but that's what I'm going to be doing. So we're going to be simultaneously, Eliana and I are going to be taking the astrology of what your natal chart is saying, but me astrologically and emotionally, I'm able to, Karen says I'm used to it, I'm able to now put it together and utilize the energies both to say what it is that's going to be happening for you, just for you, and what it's going to mean and what you're going to need to do. There are tools, and I'm going to give you those tools for sure. I'm going to give you those tools. And they're really not that hard, people. I think you guys make things a lot fucking harder than they are, and they're really not that hard. I don't know why people tend to make like everything so difficult. It's really not that hard. I can tell you what's really easy for them. It's really easy for them to just keep fucking up. That's easy. That's that's the easy part.
I
It, you
want a
know,
zero change.
yeah, zero change, and I want a different result, but I want a zero change. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll see how well that goes. All right, so we're gonna bring some people up. We're gonna answer some questions on both our ends. We're only dealing with. I think we can we deal with sun, moon, and rising? I mean, a lot of people don't know their rising sign, Eliana, but if we can give, if anybody has any questions, maybe we can just
Yeah,
go
we
by
can
their
deal
sun
with
sign.
yeah, so I can deal with sun, moon, rising. Rising is what you need the
Yeah.
most. So
So let's do a little bit of that. So let's just start with the rising signs, and then as people come on and they ask questions, I'll go ahead and I'll start writing them down, and then go back and we'll answer them if they stay on the live. So let's
okay.
start off with, being that I am the host, I'd like to know what Sagittarius rising is for me. Thank you very
All right.
much.
Do we want eclipse information or do we want Venus retrograde information?
Let's do the Venus in retrograde, being that starts tomorrow. So give
Okay.
us a little bit of that for everyone. So everyone, whatever your rising sign is, it's based on the Venus in retrograde. Okay, not the eclipse, but the Venus in retrograde.
All right. So Venus retrograde for Sag rising is impacting the houses. So this is your
Houses,
fifth house.
because it's
Sorry.
always two houses.
It's your
Yes.
fifth and your fourth house. The fifth house is about children. It's about
Oh,
creativity,
my
joy,
children, my adult children, I love them. But boy,
yeah.
oh boy.
And it is retrograding back into your fourth house. This is home and family. So it's
Yes.
your literal home, which we know for you that has been kind of homes and
Yes.
home has been kind of a focus,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It is parents, ancestors,
Mm-hmm.
history, familial history. So a lot of you Sag risings are reviewing the past and even your bloodline, like family stuff, and how that reflects or how that passes on to the next generation through.
Well, let me tell you how right you are, just so you know. So, my great grandmother, Elvira Mendez, ran boarding houses. She actually had many, many boarding houses in
Mm-hmm.
lower Manhattan on the Lower East Side for Spanish merchant marine men. back in the 40s and 50s. She owned about 25 of them or so. So she owned many of those, and she healed people. Basically, they would stay in these homes, and she would basically nurse them back before they would have to go back on these ships, because it was these long stays on these ships, and it was a process. And she was very wealthy. She took care of her entire family. She was the first of a kind. She was very intuitive, and she was a natural healer. I am her great granddaughter, obviously her descendant, right, on my father's side of the family. And a lot of people say I emulate her. And she's been coming up a lot in a lot of these conversations, because now, what have I done, Eliana? I have purchased multiple homes. I'm owning multiple quote unquote group homes of family members that need places to stay and live, right? And to get better, right? Emotionally and everything else. And then creating homes for the autistic community, and also healing houses for people to be able to come have a healing and be able to go home. So there's very reminiscent of something that's from my past, right? Family members, to my present moment. It's kind of history repeating itself in the new age, basically,
Right.
and it's funny because that's exactly what I'm doing. And I did it literally unconsciously.
Yep.
Does that I did not do it consciously. It unconsciously just started to happen that way and moved in that way. But then again, I was also meant to meet my husband. I was also meant to move to where I live. So there's all these different things, right? So unconsciously. So right now, Sagittarius risings, don't think that you're doing anything wrong. It's probably happening unconsciously. So don't think that you're going around going, that didn't happen at all for me. It's happening, believe it or not. It's just happening
Mention
unconsciously.
that astrology, in ancient astrology, the planets were considered to be grabbers, right?
Mm.
They grabbed you up without even knowing it,
Mm-hmm.
and moved you, right? And so the people who are conscious or awake or ascended or spiritual, they are the ones who understand that the energy is doing that, right?
Yes.
But we are all, because we're mortal and material, we're prone to be grabbed up. We're not paying attention.
Yeah. Not paying attention. Yeah.
That's part of that's how people experience it. The other piece is this will happen imperceptibly
Mm.
over time. It's like boiling a frog,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's the soup that you're in, and so you don't notice the 1 degree change
Yeah.
until you've boiled.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. Won't notice how hot it is until you want to jump out of the water. All
right.
right. So we don't want to talk too much more about me because people are getting upset because they're already like, what about me? Okay. So moving on from Sag rising, where would you like to go next?
Let's just start with the beginning of the zodiac. I'll start with Aries
Okay.
and work my
Perfect.
way around, if that
Let's
works.
go. That works for me.
Okay, so Aries rising, this is impacting your first and your 12th house. So
Mm.
what's happening in the first house is always very personal. Your first house is about you, your mind, your body, your sense of self, your identity, and your personality. Your 12th house is about your blind spots. Okay, so what's happening here for Aries rising is there is an opportunity to introspect, to look inside of the things that we don't necessarily want to look
You want
at.
an Aries to not focus on themselves, is what you're saying? Or
Yes,
an Aries
yes,
to focus on themselves, but they don't like to see the bad things. Aries likes to
yes,
see only the good things.
yes.
That
And
you're
this
asking a lot of an Aries
this is
then.
a time for healing, actually, for Aries.
Yeah.
So some of these things we tend to bury or suppress and don't want to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
I think Venus retrograde is really moving through that, making you examine, like, why do I do these things that are self sabotaging,
Mm-hmm.
or why do these things? And the reason for it is because you suppress it and you
Mm-hmm.
don't address it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So suppressed trauma always comes out in negative ways, and so it's an opportunity to review, to heal. Venus is soothing. Remember, it is exalted here in
Mm-hmm.
Pisces when it goes back into the 12th house. So very very big opportunity for personal growth if you're willing to do the hard but healthy work.
All right. So we're gonna go radio style. So you're gonna have to do this rapid fire. So we only got 6 minutes. Taurus rising house. Give me
Taurus
one
rising,
word that Taurus rising should be doing
we
right
are
now.
dealing with friends, groups, and allies and blind spots again. I would watch very carefully for somebody working against you.
Mm-hmm.
I would watch for maybe outgrowing old friendships. They don't have to be gossiping or anything. They can be happening, but outgrowing old friendships and relationships, or even expanding over time a new social circle.
Basically, Tauruses, stop thinking everybody owes you something and stop thinking you're the queen bee. Okay? Because you're not. Moving on, Taurus, go into Geminis.
Gemini, we're dealing with goals, dreams, and aspirations for your career. It's going to take a little bit of time to get off the ground, but it's really a reflection process for you.
All right. So Gemini's basically stop thinking you're the shit, okay, and realize that you also have to grow and do things, okay, like everybody else. Moving on, Cancers.
Cancer rising, we are dealing with higher education, spirituality, and our belief systems as they relate to career. Okay, so you are learning something new, you are reviewing something, you are growing. Some of you may start to study the esoteric.
Mm.
And so,
Well,
yeah.
cancers are naturally intuitive, so they should. And I think cancers at the end of the day naturally should know what it is to participate in someone else's reality opposed to just their own thought. Sometimes cancers tend to stay in what their perception is only. They're very stubborn, technically. They really are. All right, Leo risings. We already talked a little bit about that.
With other people's money,
Mm-hmm.
we are dealing with your financial goals. We're also dealing with potential legal things. I think some of you might be dealing with inheritances, paying down debt, making a major purchase,
Mm-hmm.
and then signing legal documents around any of those. So
Leo, I don't know. I just got this in my head. Leo risings too. If there's anybody who's working with your money, around your money, somebody might be stealing from you. That's what I just heard. Somebody might be tampering with your finances. You might want to go back and find out what legal documents you signed as far as like percentages. That's what I just heard. All right, Virgos.
Virgos, okay, so we could see changes for the spouse and the spouse's money.
Okay.
Changes around your relationship.
If you're not married, a spouse could be a business partner. A spouse can also be related to your boss, somebody that you work with continuously. Could be another person. Because someone's going to say, I'm not married. Doesn't always have to be a spouse. But
No, and so the seventh house is one-on-one interactions too, so contractual relationships.
yeah, exactly.
But seventh house is very often the spouse, but also other contractual relationships, changes for them and changes around their resources and how their resources impact you. So a spouse could change a job, a spouse could retire, a boss could decide to close their business, those kinds of things.
I feel like Virgos right now, whatever you've been doing, I think you depended too much on another person or you depended too much on how something was going to go. And I don't think you put your energy behind it, but you expected someone else to do it. I feel more of a closing of a business. That's me. Or a closing of a way of doing business. Maybe going to change that up a little bit. All right, Libra risings.
Libra rising, I think that you're going to be reviewing like how much you've given yourself and how that's balanced in your relationships, right? You may tend to over invest in a relationship, or you may feel like you are sacrificing everything you want and need for a relationship with very little return, right?
I just wrote that down. I feel like they're out of alignment and I feel like they're going to start to feel it in their bodies. I don't know why, but I feel like they're
That's very possible.
yeah,
This is
Libras, you're probably going to feel a lot in your bodies right now. So you're probably going to be complaining of back aches, hip aches, ass aches, toe aches, because I think you've taken on too much. I think or it's not balanced. Your relationships are not balanced. All right, Scorpio risings.
So bringing that back into balance is going to be part of this Venus retrograde
Yeah.
period for you. Scorpios, we are dealing with creativity in children and also servitude or priorities. I think maybe that you are feeling a little overextended as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
It could also be for you Scorpio risings. Sometimes when I see stuff like this,
Pregnancy.
it's around fertility.
I just wrote the word pregnant.
Ah, interesting. Yeah. Uh,
Pregnancies.
so things coming up around fertility.
Mm-hmm.
It could be pregnancy. It could be things like IVF. It could be.
Or this is the time to do the IVF. This could be a great time to start the process if you want to get pregnant.
Those are things that could be coming up for you over the next actually several months.
Sag risings, we did me already. Basically, it's about learning and all that good shit.
Let's go back over Sag just in case.
Sure, of course.
We are dealing with children and home and family. I think for you, you're really reviewing your ancestral past, literal homes and families, but also like how your children are impacted, right? So we're talking about generational patterns and curses and good things too, like what we want to leave behind and what we want to pass on.
Yes, exactly. So this is a good time to just reevaluate how you're handling your day-to-day functions within your family dynamics. Maybe this is a good time that maybe you want to start therapy. Maybe this is a great time for, you to go, okay, we don't want to repeat the same shit over again. So let's do this differently. All right, moving on. Cap risings.
Cap risings. This is happening in the third house and the fourth house. So this is really to do with your daily routine and your community. And you may be like, you know what? Do I like the people
Mm,
do I fit in here?
yeah.
Right? Or do I want to go somewhere else where I really realign?
Astrocartography, people, if that's something right now, Cap Risings, you might want to use a little astrocartography for that specific reason to kind of see where you're at and where you need to move. Maybe where your moon line is, maybe where your Venus line is, maybe where your Jupiter line is. Maybe you're not feeling like you're actually, or maybe it's time to know your numerology of your house to vibe your house a little bit differently. Maybe this is
Right.
time for that inspiration for sure.
Right. And also a good time for communication with family members on
Yeah.
that as well. Okay, so Aquarius
Aquarius
rising,
rising.
again, this is a financial situation also related to the third house. I wonder if you might make some money or lean into some financial goals around communication and technology, utilizing social media,
Uh-huh.
or publishing something new, or even learning something new.
Use your
Especially,
existing resource. I just heard Aquarius is use your existing resource. A lot of you already have your existing resource already in play. You're not seeing the big picture. Step outside your comfort zone, like she just said with social media. Your existing resources are already with you, they're already there. All right.
Pisces rising
Mm-hmm.
is the last one. They're always the last in the zodiac for Pisces.
Pisces.
But this
Yes.
again is very personal for you, but on a
Mm-hmm.
different level. So I think that reviewing how well you are resourced,
Mm.
right? You may be feeling a little bit scarcity, or you may be feeling like I want to move into a new period of abundance. You are reviewing how can I do that?
Mm.
It's going to start inside,
Yeah.
right? You don't need to be looking at you may be chasing money,
Yeah.
but what needs to happen here is we need to review like our relationship with money, because it's all starting in your first house, which is very personal.
And
So
money really should chase you, and you should not be chasing money. Money should want to chase you. So that's something you definitely have to, reevaluate. And that's part of also what we're going to be doing on the Zoom on March 10th is helping people understand that and their relationship with money and why the eclipses help out during that process to see a little bit of that. I also wanted to mention the everyone has been asking about my journal. The JRay journal has officially arrived. It is ready to be mailed out to everyone. This is the front of the journal, by the way, people. And what happens in the journal, so everybody wants to see it because I just wanted to be able to do that. So let's just say this is for March 1st, and this is what the journal is going to look like for you. So this is March 1st, and it's going to teach you pretty much everything you need to know about the day, numerology, what to expect, the message and the tarot card of the day, which I am going to do right now for everybody that is here online. Going to give you a little special little ending and doing a tarot for each sign. We have a few minutes left. I keep hitting the microphone. I think my IT guy is about to have a heart attack. Eric, so sorry, Eric. He's like, hit that mic again. I'm gonna kill you. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull 12 cards, one for each. These are the new J-Ray Live tarot cards that I just created, by the way. So make sure they're very, very pretty. They're very pretty and they're very inclusive. I really wanted these tarot cards to be inclusive, easy to read, easy to understand, because I feel like at the end of the day, a lot of times tarot cards could just, the images can be a little off, and sometimes they don't really understand what the images could mean. So we are just going to scream out, as I like to do. Eric, it's going to be your job because you are on the other side of the computer, unfortunately. So you're going to have to pull one for each. So starting with Capricorn, give me one for Cap. Just keep pulling. Yep, there you go. Just pull. Cap, give me Aquarius. Oops. Give me Aquarius. Keep going. Give me Pisces. There we go. Give me Aries. Give me that one for Aries. Perfect. And then we need Taurus. Alrighty. Then we need Geminis. Alrighty, it looks good for Gemini. All right, Gemini, that was a good card pull. I don't know, I just felt like that. All right, Cancers, beautiful. All right, we need for the Leos. There we go. And then we need one for Virgo. Virgos. Have over there. That's what I felt. Virgos. Let's do the Libra. Oh, you're a Libra, right, Eric? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. All right. Scorpios, pull one for me and my husband and all the Scorpios in the universe. Rachel. And last but not least, Sag. All righty. So let's see. Oh, something happened. Did we end? The live ended. Did we
No,
end?
you're on. You're
Oh,
on.
why does it say live will end in 4 minutes and 51 seconds?
You may have to do the puzzle piece.
Oh, oh, that's why. Okay, got it. I see. Oh, I see. Done. Okay. Fancy. All right. That's all right. Ready? Here we go. I always like to start in Capricorns. Capricorns, you guys got the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is all about retreat, contemplation, sit back, rest, relax, think before you act. This is a great time for you to really sit with yourself. It's represented by the Four of Spades. It's represented by Jupiter. So if you're really thinking about money, and Capricorns, all Capricorns make money. I don't give a shit what Capricorn you are. They are business minded. If you are on the positive side of Capricorn, you probably have to really think about the job you want or something that's going on. And you're represented by, at this particular time, this is considered the air sign. So Capricorns right now, it's all about the mental. Okay, it's all about the thinking and the deep thinking right now for that. All right, moving on, we have Aquarius. Aquarius, you guys got the Knight of Cups. So there's a beautiful offer coming to you. I say romantic because anything that's gonna bring me abundance, even ice cream, okay, any offer of any kind is romantic. So somebody is definitely bringing you something that you're going to like, you're going to enjoy, you're going to be thankful for and grateful for. So, love to see that for Aquariuses. They have truly been through it. All right, moving on, we're going into Pisces. Pisces, you guys got the Nine of Swords. You're definitely in thinking mode, you're in worry mode, you're probably overthinking and overprocessing a situation or an emotion right now. Just let it all go. It's going to figure itself out and it's going to find its way through. That's what this process is. That's why that Neptune and Pisces going into that Aries, you're probably feeling some sort of emotional death, maybe even an ego death you could be going through right now, Pisces, but that's a good thing. It's always a good thing. All right, moving on, we're going into Aries. And Aries, you guys got the Three of Cups. You're definitely feeling the need to, I don't know, have a good time, celebrate. Definitely coming together with friends, family, and there might be something that you really are thinking about. Or this also could be, I hate to say this, Aries, you also could be the side bitch or the side chick to something or someone. Okay. So you might not want to be the third wheel in that relationship. You might want to rethink it, Aries. Okay. I'm just saying. All right. Moving on, we have Tauruses. Of course, Taurus has got the Nine of Cups, contentment. They have the money, they have the resources, they have it all. But because it's a nine and not a 10, they're missing something. So right now, even though you're content right now and you're feeling good about things, there is feeling like there's something missing. So figure what that is, Taurus is, because it's a black hole and it's a very deep one. All right, moving on, going into Geminis. Geminis, right, are in the Seven of Wands. They're in defending mode. They're feeling the need to defend the honor of themselves, maybe their words, maybe their actions, maybe how they feel, maybe even their home. They need to defend what they have going on right now for whatever reason. And right now, I wouldn't really want to mess with the Gemini right now because I'm gonna tell you right now, they're coming for you, they're defending, and they're not backing down. Okay, that's that Seven of Wands energy. They don't back down. Moving on, cancers. We just talked about this. It's definitely aligned to what we were discussing. The death card, letting go. This is them letting go of an idea, a mindset, maybe one thing that they once understood, they're now having to see it differently and hear it differently. So this is really big for the cancers because cancers really for a long time thought one way, now they're thinking another. So great for the cancers. All right, moving on, we have Leos. Leos have the lovers cards because Leos love to love. Let's be honest. And they got the lovers card, but they have choices they need to make. And right now, I hope the Leo chooses to love themselves and not love someone else. So that's the lovers card for the Leos. So they really do have some really significant choices. And like I think Eliana said, they have a lot of choices when it comes to legal, relationships, money, finances. They have to make really good conscious choices right now. Moving on, Virgos. Virgos got the hangman. And what did we just say? They have to now surrender to what is. They have to surrender to what already has been created, what already happened, what already took place. And they may have to let something go. And they may have to see it from a different perspective, because the hangman is about seeing things from a different perspective as well. It's seeing things upside down. Maybe you're not seeing it the way it should be seen. And you're being a little egotistical, Virgo. I don't know why you're not letting something go, but you want to be right for whatever reason. All right, moving on. We have the Libras, and the Libras right now are dealing with the Five of Pentacles. That's the outcast card. This is so they feel kicked to the curb. They feel kind of left out in the cold, and this is because they left themselves out in the cold. They probably gave more to one another or someone to someone else more than to themselves. We were talking about that. So this is what they're experiencing right now, Libra. So this is really important. Don't kick yourself out into the cold, Libras. Libras, you have to love yourself more than anyone else. All right. Moving on, we have Scorpios. And Scorpios right now, you guys got the Two of Swords. So you guys have a lot of dilemma, a lot of thinking, a lot of, you got to make choices right now, Scorpios. You got to think about, what is, what was, what's going to be, how are we going to move it along, what's going to happen. And you definitely feel like you need to make this really strong decision. And I'm being told, not so much. Let the universe make it for you. Give it to God and go to bed. Don't stress so much about it. Last and not least, we have the Knight of Swords, determination for the Sagittariuses. And this is all about determined to make a path, make a way, make a new sense of being, a new sense of self, maybe a new career, a new mindset. But whatever it is, they need to be determined to get through this process. You might have to become the matriarch or the patriarch of your family right now, Sagittariuses, and be determined on how that's going to go and how that's going to flow. All right, Eliana, thank you so much for joining me today on this TikTok. I am looking so forward to be seeing you on the 10th. We'll see more of each other soon. Definitely looking forward to everybody here on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm looking forward to seeing you more often. And I appreciate every single person that's come on here. And if you have any questions, we're going to be doing a live broadcast with a live call-in show within the next week or so. So make sure you keep checking out my Instagram, my TikTok, YouTube, Eliana. Join her, follow her, look for her. We'll be doing more together. Looking forward to you all. Have a wonderful day. Happy Friday, February 28th. 7 lines, because, aligned. And happy new moon and new moon. Take care, BB.
Plant the new seed with that new moon.
Yes, plant those seeds, people. Plant them. Love you all. Take care. Bye bye. Bye, peeps.